Now, CNN's Natasha Chen is in Panama City, which you heard Governor Scott describe as looking like it had been wiped out in a tornado.
Alex, we were driving around town today, especially along Highway 98, which is a commercial zone, and it was very difficult to navigate because so many large trees and power lines are blocking the roadways. And there are crews actively trying to clear those, but it's still not very safe for people to come back. And that's why officials are telling residents not to return until they've been specifically told to do so. In fact, there is a curfew right now until daylight because with the town mostly without power and without cell phone service, it's very hard to navigate and can be very dangerous in the dark.
Now, from what we can gather, Natasha, the death toll's a bit hard to calculate at the moment because from what I can hear, it's not as high as what might have been envisaged, but at the same time, we don't know how many people maybe failed to evacuate and then their houses are completely gone. We've seen photos of suburbs where the houses that were standing and now there's just the foundations in place. So have you got any more information on just how many people may have lost their lives?
We know at least 6 people have lost their lives. One person died in North Carolina, one child died in Georgia, the rest in the state of Florida. In a lot of these cases so far, these are situations where large trees fell on them, either on their cars or on their homes. This is definitely a huge wind gusts that have caused this. This is wind damage and deaths by wind. So, and then slowly we may start to learn about other situations where people might have been injured. We know that one woman had to be airlifted to a hospital today because her neighbors thought that she was in distress and was surrounded by floodwaters. So they used a flashlight and sort of flagged down a rescue team that was flying overhead. So we're going to start to learn more information as time goes on, especially because, as I mentioned, cell service and even landlines are very patchy right now. Some family members have not been able to get in touch with their relatives, so they may be missing or they may just be unable to communicate at this point.
And what's the situation now with a huge amount of people, of course, without power as they try to rebuild? Have people got the basic necessities in order to survive?
You know, Alex, that's interesting. We've heard people calling in to emergency services asking about food resources, and those folks have been asked to go to emergency shelters and get those resources there. There are a couple of stores that have started to reopen today, but they are very careful in how much they allow each party to purchase. So they are rationing out the resources in the stores and only allowing a certain number of people in at a time. So it's very limited here. I think a lot of people did get what they needed ahead of the storm, but right now they may be running a little bit low because some of these folks did not know this was going to be such a tough storm. A lot of times they hear reports that a storm is coming and then it sort of tapers before it actually arrives. This is the opposite case. Hurricane Michael picked up a lot of steam and gathered speed very quickly toward the end, sort of catching some of these locals by surprise.
Natasha Chen in the devastated Panama City in the Florida Panhandle area.